Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaridhare Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaridhare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaridhare Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Ayashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Radhana Jai Radha Radhana Jai Radha Radhana Jai Radha Radhana Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jayo Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jayo Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare So everyone is welcome to this morning's class. We have been requested to treat Chaitanya Caritamrta Adya Lila, chapter 2, entitled Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And for our today's discussion, I'll be giving verses 12, 13, and 14. So I think 12 is on the board. Or the 13, where's the 14, maybe. Which one is this? Okay, that's 12. 12 is on the board, so we can take that and read the rest. Tanara Angera Sudha Karana Mandalaha Upanishad Kahe Tanara Brahman Sunir Malaha tam iva bantam anubati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. Brahmai vedam amritam parastat brahma paschat brahma dakshinatas chotarina adaschodvam cha prashitam brahmai vedam vishwam idam varishtam. In the spiritual realm, beyond the material covering, is the unlimited Brahman effulgence, which is free from material contamination. That effulgent white light is understood by transcendentalists to be the light of all lights. In that realm, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, fire, or electricity for illumination. Indeed, whatever illumination appears in the material world is only a reflection of that supreme illumination. Throughout the material spiritual sky. Text 13 says, Charma chakshe dehe yache surya nirvisheshaha jnana marge laite nare krishnera visheshaha. Translation: as with the naked eye, one cannot know the sun except as a glowing substance, merely by philosophical speculation, one cannot understand Lord Krishna's transcendental varieties. And text 14 says, Yashya prabhava pravato jagadanda koti kote su ase savasudadati vibhubinam tad brahma nishkalam ananta ase shabudam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Translation: I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman, which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays the varieties of countless planets with their different opulences in millions and millions of universes. Purport: this verse appears in the Brahma Samhita 5.40. Each and every one of the countless universes is full of innumerable planets with different constitutions and atmospheres. All these comes from the unlimited, non-dual Brahman, or complete whole, which exists in absolute knowledge. The origin of that unlimited Brahman effulgence is the transcendental body of Govinda, who is offered respectful obeisances as the original and supreme personality of Godhead. Omagyan Tamiridasya Gyanan Ganashalakaya Chakshuramalitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Caitanya Manobistam Stapitam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yukta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunastam Bitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Bitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Iti Namini Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Ashri Tatmane Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Iti Namini Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Sarasati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvese Sashunyavadi Pasachade Satharini Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhyaivacha Patitanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I read the translations again. 12 says, what the Upanishads call the transcendental impersonal Brahman is the realm of the glowing effulgence of the same Supreme Person. And 13 says, as with the naked eye, one cannot know the sun except as a glowing substance, merely by philosophical speculation, one cannot understand Lord Krishna's transcendental varieties. And the 14 says, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman, which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays the varieties of countless planets with their different opulences in millions and millions of universes. Bukam karoti vachalam pangum lagayate green. Yat Kripatamahadvande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramanam Madhavam Sri Caitanya Ishwaram Akanda Mandalakaram Vyaptayina Characharam Tatpadam Dashitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So, before we proceed to say something about these verses, we will first of all seek the blessings of the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis so that we may say something relevant to our spiritual progress and maybe relevant to the audience. In particular, I would like to request the blessings of His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu and Gunatiti Mataji. They are my gurus, they are god brothers and god sisters to His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj. So, they are my superiors, and generally speaking, it is always better to hear from superiors, not the other way around. But sometimes, even the Guru, he sits in the class of a disciple to listen how the disciple is progressing in Krishna consciousness, how he understands the philosophy, how he presents the philosophy. Sometimes the Guru takes pleasure in hearing the disciples so that he can correct and guide them. So I seek their blessings, and they should not hesitate to correct and guide if I say things that are not shastric or not according to the Guru Paramparam. Hare Krishna. Jai. Hare Krishna. Last night I was so excited when His Holiness B.B. Govinda Maharaj mentioned on stage that actually it was Pracharana Prabhu who ordered him to stay overnight and over the weekend and eventually 3 months and eventually a lifetime. I see.
So 3 months I got an idea. Okay, 3 months is a good time. You stay also.
Wonderful. I was so excited that your preaching has produced such a personality. Yes, as maybe Govinda Maharaj. It's wonderful. So, these verses that we are reading from the Caitanya caritamrta, Adi Lila, is it's interesting because the title of the chapter is that Sri Krishna Caitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one may ask the question, what is the proof that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? What is the shastric evidence? So, from the same authority, Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, we find hundreds of verses that establish the supremacy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami opens the Caitanya Charitamrita with a number of prayers. And one of those prayers is Vande Sri Krishna Caitanya Nityanando Sahoditao Gaudadaye Chitra Sando Tamonudo. That the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Caitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, they appeared on the horizon of Gaudadesh, just like the sun and the moon. And what was the purpose of their appearance? The purpose of their appearance was to dissipate the darkness of ignorance of Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is very dense with ignorance. And only the Supreme Personality of Godhead has the potency, has the power to dissipate the darkness of ignorance. And therefore, Caitanya Mahaprabhu, accompanied by Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and of course the entire Panchatattva team, they appeared for the purpose of dissipating the darkness of the age. And because of their appearance, Today, we have millions of souls engaged in Krishna consciousness. Can we imagine that if Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda did not appear in Kali Yuga, did not appear to inaugurate the chanting of the holy names of Krishna, what would have happened to the world? What would have happened to us? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared in this world for the purpose of distributing the holy names of Krishna. Furthermore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Bhavahi Aswadhyayam. That Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in this world to inaugurate the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. He tasted the nectar Krishna Bhavamritam. He tasted the nectar of Krishna consciousness, and he initiated his followers. He introduced this nectar to his followers. And for the last 500 years, this nectar has been flowing, and it continues to flow. And those souls who are very fortunate, they have come in contact with the nectar of Krishna consciousness. And His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada made it easy, made it possible for the whole world to be connected to this Krishna consciousness. So, it is said that only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He can exhibit kindness. He can demonstrate kindness to every living entity. And that is why it is said, Suhridam Sarvadehinam. Krishna mentions that in Bhagavad Gita. Suhridam Sarvadehinam. He is the best friend. He is the best well-wisher of every living entity. And as such, He descends into the material world as the greatest well-wisher to distribute the chanting of the holy names of Krishna, to inaugurate the Sankirtan Yagya for the benefit of all human beings. So therefore, it is said, Eka Krishna Sarva Savior Jagat Ishwaraha. Lord Krishna, the one Master and the Lord of the universe, who is worthy of being served by everyone. Indeed, everyone is but a servant of his servants, appeared in this world. Say Krishna Avatina Chaitanya Ishwaraha. That same Lord Krishna has descended as Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu to distribute the holy names of Krishna. Kahe mane, kahe na mane, Saba Tanra Dhasa. Some accept him, whereas others do not. Yet everyone is his servant. One who does not accept him, however, will be ruined by his sinful activities. So the same Supreme Personality of Godhead the son of Nanda Maharaj, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who appeared 5,000 years ago, again descended in this world 500 years ago. And what was the purpose? To inaugurate the Yuga Dham. Kali Kali Nama Rupa. Anant Nama Rupa Avatar. That in the age of Kali, the holy name is the incarnation of the Lord. And for this incarnation to appear in this world, to manifest in this world, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu descended from the spiritual sky to facilitate, to inaugurate the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is none different from Krishna. He came purposely to bless the entire world, the residents of Kali Yuga, with the opportunity of chanting the holy names of Krishna. Now one may ask, how did the Lord demonstrate or manifest the different aspects of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is manifested as Brahman, as Paramatma, and as Bhagavan. Chaitanya Caritamrta informs us, Aneka prakara vilapa karite lagila se shane asi prabhu tanire alingila. That when Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he met the Mayavad sannyasis in Benares, he displayed the Brahman effulgence. Because Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the chanting of the holy name, because Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, his mission was to induce all living entities in Kali Yuga to accept the chanting of the holy names. Wherever the Lord went, he inaugurated the chanting and dancing to the glories of the holy name. So when Mahaprabhu visited Benares, he enacted this pastime of singing, dancing on the streets. And so the Mayavadis, headed by Prakashananda Saraswati, they began to criticize him. That as a young sannyasi, his duty was to study the Vedanta sutras and not engage in singing and dancing like a sentimentalist. So one devotee who had that criticism requested Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu to meet these Mayavad sannyasis. Actually, on his way to Vrindavan, this happened. But Mahaprabhu ignored that criticism and he went to Vrindavan. On his way back from Vrindavan, again he stopped over in Benares. And this devotee again brought up the issue. And he requested Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu to come before the Mayavad sannyasis and preach to them, convert them, give them the essence of the study of Vedanta Sutras. Eventually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the invitation of this Maharashtrian Brahmin who wanted him to meet the Mayavad sannyasis. And when Lord Chaitanya arrived at the meeting place, he sat at the place where they washed their feet. But the Mayavadis, headed by Prakashananda Saraswati, they could see the effulgence of Brahman. The Brahman, they're meditating on the Brahma Jyoti, that is the goal of their meditation. They could see it coming from the body of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And immediately, they went down to where he was sitting and they invited Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu up on the dais where they were sitting. But Mahaprabhu, out of his great humility, said he preferred to remain there. But they persuaded the Lord to come up to where they sat. So it is said that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he displayed the Brahman effulgence in that assembly of the Mayavadis, because the Mayavadis, their goal of meditation, their goal of endeavor, their goal of life is to merge into the effulgence of the Lord, the transcendental rays of the Lord. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated that he is the source of that Brahman. So, when they saw that, they became captivated and they accepted the Sankirtan movement, the chanting of the holy names of Krishna as the ultimate. And it is described that the following day, when Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu started the kirtan, all the followers of Prakashananda, including Prakashananda himself, they joined the Sankirtan movement of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore, it is said that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu created history when he converted all the Mayavadis in Benares into Vaishnavas. Also, when Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling down south, he came to Kurmashetra. In Kurmashetra, he stayed with the Brahmana known as the Kurma Brahmana. And he induced everyone to chant the holy names. And the next morning, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu left. When he left, the news had spread about the arrival of that saintly personality, that great personality who was charming everyone's heart. So people were coming from far and wide to take association of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. But early the next morning, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu had embarked on his journey, on his tour. So there was one particular devotee, Vasudev the leper. He came early in the morning to meet Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. But when he got there, he was told the Lord had left. Anika prakara vilapa karite lagila se shanin saisi prabhu tanre alingila. When Vasudev the leper Brahmana was lamenting due to not being able to see Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord immediately returned to that spot. How was it possible if the Lord were not the super soul in everyone's heart? So in that instance, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated that he is the super soul in the heart of every living entity. When Vasudeva, the Brahmana, the leper Brahmana, arrived and was told that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu had left, he fell to the ground unconscious and was lamenting like anything. Immediately, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, wherever he was, he could understand that one of his great devotees was desiring his association. Sarvasya chaham hiridesani vishto mata smriti gyaram apohanam cha. The Lord is situated in the heart of every living entity, and from him comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that super soul. He could understand that this Brahmana desired his association. So immediately he appeared on the spot. And when he touched the Brahmana, something miraculous happened. When Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu touched the Brahmana, both the leprosy and his distress went to a distant place. Indeed, Vasudeva's body became so beautiful to his great surprise and happiness. So in this instance, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated that he is the super soul situated in everyone's heart. Otherwise, how could he have known that Vasudeva the leper had come looking for him and had fainted when he heard the Lord had left? So that establishes the fact that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is within the heart of every living entity. He understands our desires. He understands our feelings. He understands our aspirations. So if we desire his association, if we desire freedom from the material world, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu will make that possible. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya demonstrated that to Ramananda Raya. Tabe haise tanire Prabhu dekila swarupaha rasa raja mahabhava dvi ekarupaha. Lord Sri Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, and Srimati Radharani is the personification of ecstatic love of Godhead. These two forms had combined as one in Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. This being the case, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu revealed this form to Ramananda Raya. So Ramananda Raya, such an intimate devotee who had such a beautiful interaction with the Lord when he visited southern India and had a wonderful association, wonderful discussion. The whole of chapter 8 of the Madhyama Lila describes the interaction between Ramananda Raya and Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And at the end, Lord Chaitanya revealed his true identity, Radha and Krishna combined. So we can see that the three aspects of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahma Meti, Paramama Meti, Bhagavan Sabdhyate, these three aspects of the Supreme Personality of Godhead were sufficiently demonstrated. They were displayed by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore there is no doubt that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who appeared in the form of a devotee just to teach the world the process of Krishna consciousness in Kali Yuga. So that is our fortune, that the Lord is so kind. He appeared in Kali Yuga to establish the process of Krishna consciousness for the benefit of everyone. Vande Sri Krishna Caitanya Devam Karunanavam Kali Yuge Astu Gudeyam Bhaktiyena Prakashitam. That Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he is so kind. He is the embodiment of compassion, Karunanavam. And therefore, he appeared in this age and so kindly established the process of bhakti, the process of chanting the holy names of Krishna. Even though Kali Yuga is full of so many faults, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu has established the process of Krishna consciousness for the benefit of the entire world. And this is the reason that we are all sitting here today. This is the reason that we are all gathered here in Durban, because the mercy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu continues to flow to everyone in this world. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So if there are any comments, they are welcome. If there are no comments, we call it a day. Yes, Prabhu, I know you have something to add. Please.
Hearing your analysis of how Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited all three aspects of the Absolute Truth. And I think that could be the subject of a thesis. And perhaps that's, because I'm sure there are other elements. And it also brings the question as to, because Mahaprabhu is understood to be Gupta avatar, that he's hidden. And yet, as you pointed out, in different occasions, he does reveal his identity. But my understanding is that he only did so amongst his intimate associates, in the mood of lila. For example, when Srivasa,
Hare Krishna. Seventh.
I'm trying to remember the circumstances, but there was some danger, and Srivasa was worshipping Nrsinga, and Gauranga came to his house and sat on the altar and said, "Here I am. You were worshipping, and here I am. You've called me." So with his intimate associates, he would reveal his identity. And Krishnadas Kaviraj, hearing all, he's convinced, and he presents all of, like you said, he presents the evidences many, many times of how Mahaprabhu appeared. I had one other comment that struck me from the purports, because Srila Prabhupada, he elaborates that all the illumination of this world is actually Brahman.
Yes.
And I was thinking that here's another way for us to see Krishna everywhere. And the practice, because I found myself that although Krishna says, "I am the taste of water," and yet how often do I actually think of Krishna when I'm drinking water? And he says, "I am the light of the sun and the moon." And how many times do I think this light is all Krishna? So this is another impetus to try to remember that everything is all Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Any other comment? Otherwise, it's time for breakfast. It's the next agenda. Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.